Energy thematic category. Ecofuels Kenya Limited. The project, extraction of oil from cotton seeds for the production of energy.
My name is Cosmas Ucheng, the Operations Director of Ecofuels Kenya. We went into the production of fertilizers, organic fertilizers, and biofuels. We are sourcing our raw materials from the local population. Our main raw material is called cotton megalocarpus. Cotton megalocarpus is an industry in Kenya. It's also available in 8 African countries. And the population of this tree in Kenya is overwhelming. The only challenge that has been there in the environmental part before we started this project is that the tree is so good for charcoal burning. Very good, it gives very good fuel. And this made the tree to be a very threatened species. And there was no other value for that. You could not make it timber and the rest. Now, after a lot of research, we came up with this technology of making fuel out of that. And that was our original idea. That's why a company is called Ecofuels. By collecting the seeds by farmers, they see the value in the tree and they don't cut this tree again. In fact, they preserve the tree so much because if they keep the tree in a season, they can harvest it twice. And in a tree, one big tree, somebody can get 10 to 15, some even to 20 kilograms. And we buy a kg at 10 shillings. Now, which means every season, one tree will give you 200 shillings. We have seen so many women, we have seen so many men getting into the business. Initially, when we started, it was women business, like they will go collect and do the rest. Now, men realized they're becoming threatened in the family because if you don't have money, you lose the authority in our local setup. Now, men will get the money from the bank loans and from the circle, the groups, then they buy seeds from the collectors in the villages. In our fertilizers, I've said we are making organic fertilizers. There's a big problem nationwide and every part of the country where people have been using chemical fertilizers for years. They make the soil sterile. And at some time, the soil doesn't just give any yield, no matter how much fertilizer you put. Now, our solution to this is providing organic fertilizer that is produced locally in Kenya. We source everything in Kenya, do the production in Kenya, and use that in Kenya. Now, it's our product made in Kenya for Kenyans.
Green Gas Group Africa Initiative. The project, producing, harnessing and packaging of biogas for commercial and domestic use.
My name is James Ngugi. I come from Nakuru County. I have a project of harvesting biogas, packing it into cylinders for domestic use. Reason why I decided to have this idea was after post-election violence, whereby I met with those people and they chopped off my palm. After that, I had transport vehicles which I used to have to transport school children to school. After this violence, I could not drive any longer. So, and then the drivers started to frustrate me in one or the other. So I decided to abandon that business and have an idea, a business that maybe will not be involving a lot of people who are deciding me because I didn't want to have the pressures and whatever. So we met with my colleague here called David, and then we came up with an idea of how can we harvest biogas, we pack it, and then we sell it to people for domestic use. And we did our own research, and my colleague told me we can do it.
My name is David Opio Kwayo, and I am the technician in charge of all the construction of this biogas plant. The process starts by collecting cow dung or animal manure from farmers who do zero grazing and have problems in the disposal of the dung. Once the dung arrives here, it is further mixed with water and all the other wastes are removed, and then it is poured into the digester. After a while, the digester activates and the dung starts evolving biogas. The biogas is then transported into a storage cylinder through a gadget known as a desulfurizer, which removes the sulfur and other gases for us to remain with methane, pure methane, which we then compress through other gadgets and condense it to its liquid form for to be able to package it now into cylinders. So far, we have managed to package a few cylinders simply for domestic use because the law does not allow us to use cylinders belonging to other companies. So we are stuck at that point until we get some sort of funding to enable us to have our own labeled cylinders to avoid the likes of prosecution by the owners of the other brands. The gas is relatively low priced because we intend to sell it at 100 shillings per kilo, which will be affordable to most users depending on the amount that anybody needs for their own use.
If we give people cheap wire, we are going to save our forest because there's no need of going to buy charcoal. That was the whole noble idea of doing it.
Biogas International. Project Flexi Biogas.
My name is Alfred Kipto. We are at Biogas International in Karen. We've designed a new technology biogas that is called Flexi Biogas, which takes away the need for excavation, it takes away the need for construction, and therefore you can install the biogas in actually 2 to 3 hours, and it will be operational in 7 to 10 days. Flexi Biogas has several advantages over other conventional systems. The first advantage is the efficiency. Because of the design which we adopt, which is called cross-flow design, the system digests everything that you put into the system. Therefore, you get 100% value for the waste you put into the system. That means that even if you have only one cow dung from that one cow is enough to give you cooking energy in a domestic setup, say up to 9 or 10 people. The bioslurry that comes out of the digester, because it's completely broken down, it's seedbed ready organic fertilizer, which actually can be taken by the plants within 5 to 10 days. And as the name suggests, Flexi Biogas is very simple to construct, and you don't actually require permanent land tenure because it is flexible. The systems are very affordable because for 61,000 Kenya shillings, you can get a complete digester, piping, and a double burner. It can be used to, like the way it's been used conventionally in cooking, water heating, and also it can also be used to run machinery like running gensets and cars like tuk-tuks and any other machinery that is petrol powered. The system is very good. It is what the system actually ejects as a waste is a completely broken down substrate where you'll not find any maggots, you'll not find any housefly, because there's no food value for maggots and housefly. So that means it is not an ISO, if I may call it, and it is not going to bring unnecessary or unwanted flies in the compound.